Hello everyone, welcome ME4611 lab course. In this session we will talk about the vapor compression refrigeration cycle. So as you see, this is the total setup for the experiment. So this is the basic schematic diagram of the vapor compression refrigeration cycle. So there are mainly 4 units. We will talk this experiment: compressor, condenser, expansion valve and evaporator. The main objective of this experiment to find out the COP, that means coefficient of performance of the refrigeration system. So as you know, the COF is defined as the ratio of the heat removed from the colder reservoir to the work done to remove the heat. So the work done is by the compressor. So here you can see this compressor. So if you go through the basic schematic diagram again, so in this compressor, low temperature and low pressure vapor refrigerant compressed, and after that it becomes high pressure and high temperature. Then it's delivered to the condenser. During the condenser, the high pressure and temperature vapor will change the phase from liquid vapor phase to liquid phase. After that it passes through the expansion valve. When it high pressure refrigerant pass through the expansion valve, the refrigerant will the refrigerant pressure will drop and the temperature will drop. Then it becomes very cold and chilled. After that, this refrigerant will pass through the evaporator, which is the main unit to collect the heat from the surroundings. After that, this low pressure and low temperature vapor refrigerant again sent to the compressor. So these cycles happens repeatedly over again and again. So if you see the total this schematic diagram and the total basic setup compare, then you can see there is the compressor, and this side is the condenser unit and this side is the evaporation unit. And obviously there is many gauges, indicators, sensors and control valve used in this system to improve the efficiency of this refrigeration cycle. So here you see the 2 gauges. One is inlet in the inlet side of the compressor. So basically the function of these gauges to measure the temperature and pressure of the refrigerant, and the outside of the refrigerant compressor there are also 2 gauges to measure the high pressure and temperature of the refrigerant. Then you see there is 2 control valve. One is the left side, one is right side. So left side control valve we control the flow rate for in the condenser side, and right side control valve to control the flow rate in the evaporator side. And there you can see there is 2 pumps, one for condenser and another for evaporator, and this is the water reservoir tank. So all this setup we can control by the computer. So now I am going to turn on our system. There is the power button. Now I turn on the our refrigeration cycle. So our experiment will run, and now let's go to check from how do we control from by the computer. Let's go. So this is the computer. We use the TRCBC software, and here is the icon of this software. So you need to run this software. Then when software will run, then there is a start button. You have to click the start button. Then there is actuators unit. There you can see AB1, AB2. AB1 is for condenser, AB2 is for evaporator. You need to turn both these actuators. After that, for the compressor, you need to run the compressor efficiency at 40%, so you can get the maximum efficiency from the compressor. Then there is some analog sensors. signal, you can see there is different parameter. So what basically you need to do here, you need to check the SC1 and SC2. SC1 is in the flow rate for the condenser, and SC2 section showing the flow rate for the evaporator. So as I told you before that, left side there is one control valve for controlling the flow in the condenser side, and the right side there is another control valve to control the flow in the evaporator side. So what you need to do is, first you need this lab experiment manual. Then you need to go the page number 3. Then you can find there is one table, and you need to check your SC1 and SC2 value. When you find out, first you need to control the value of 5 liter per minute flow rate for in the condenser side, and 5 liter per minute flow rate in the evaporator side. After that, when you find the value in the screen, then you need to record this value in the your experiment table. After that, we will carry out 3 cases of our experiment. So this is the first cases for experiment. What we will do when we check the cases, we do not change anything in the condenser side, but we will control the evaporator side flow rate. So to fix the control valve in the condenser side, and we slowly adjust the flow rate in the evaporator side by the control valve. So after that, when we will find the flow rate 6 liter per minute in the SC2 section, then we will record our these parameters from the computer to in our record sheet. Then similarly for case 2, again you need to control your flow rate in the evaporator side 4.5 liter per minute. And when you find this data 4.5 liter per minute flow rate in the SC section 2, you need to record the again this data. Then similarly for case 3, for flow rate 3, so you have to record this 3 cases. So after record all these cases, what you need to do is you need to draw the pH diagram. After pH diagram, you can easily calculate the curve of this system. So as I told you before that, this is our main object to find out the curve of coefficient of performance of this refrigeration cycle. So thanks to everyone. Hopefully you understand everything.